Good morning. Good morning. I love seeing the comments. So I tripped on my lacrosse stick on the way to work. Um, I'm finally sick. I haven't missed a day in 7 years or 30 years. Anyway, or I had to take care of a few things this morning because it's in between Christmas and New Year's. 99% of the world is on vacation, and I had to take care of a few things. But anyway, good morning, everyone. My name is Scott Redler. I'm the Chief Strategic Officer of T3Live.com. By the way, if you tuned in at 6:30 and there was no 6:30 club, and you're not a member of Red Dog Mindset, if you haven't subscribed above, you might have that feeling a lot next year. Just saying. Anyway, someone asked me about next year, the 6:30 club. I've been doing it for free since 2020. How do they get locked in? If you are a member of Red Dog Mindset and you subscribe above, you are guaranteed the 6:30 club all of next year. And if I get to a certain number, I might even do on Fridays. So my name, by the way, is Scott Redler. I'm the Chief Strategic Officer of T3Live.com. It is 7:15. It is not 6:30. I understand. It is Monday. It's between Christmas and New Year's. Usually most people are on vacation, but I am not. I am home. I'm here to go over levels. I'm here to help you guys navigate the action. I'm here to stack the rest of the days and end on a good note. Hopefully you guys are going to end on a good note. Right? The worst thing is you're home for the holidays. You're not in the mountains or on the beaches and you lose money trading. That kind of sucks. So let's not have that happen to any of you guys here. Obviously the market's been a little tricky the last 2 days. Tech lagged a little bit. Big conversation right now is about silver, about the reversal from Sunday night to this morning, which makes sense. Most parabolic moves do not end well. And I remember 2-3 weeks ago when silver was breaking out, I'm like, it's not parabolic yet. It's just a clean, healthy uptrend looking great. And then on Friday, I think they start to squeeze the kajesus out of everybody. And I was hoping for an up open. I was hoping for, 81, 82, 83 so I could short some silver, sell some premium, maybe buy some puts. And it's not. So it's fine. I don't have a vendetta. I made some decent money in gold and silver this year. Power plays made some decent money between gold and silver. But anyway, Naval, see, you care. You thought something was wrong with me. So you're glad I'm okay. I'm cool. All is well. I'm feeling better. Had a great weekend. Hopefully you guys had a great holiday weekend. I actually went to the city yesterday with Selena and Chase. We went to an exhibit in the city at Chelsea Pierce. It was pretty cool, like an AI, lights around the world. And then we went to Wolfgang Puck for dinner, little steak dinner, little staycation. So this way I could be here today and be here this week. I have a lot of things to close out. But anyway, I hope everyone's doing well and having a good time. And we'll see what today brings. So far, the futures are down just a little, down 15 handles after a big move. You look here at the S&P cash, little bit of a doji to end on Friday. Things felt a little lethargic anyway, so we'll see what happens. Do we hold 68.70? Look where the 8-day is. What a big move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up days. Can't be spoiled. SPYs also. SPYs gave yourself a little bit of a doji right here. A doji. Some guys like a doji style. Sometimes that's fun, but usually anyway. So this doji was a big one here, if you remember, before we took out the moving averages and gave a move up to 691.60. Right now we're a little bit below 689.90. Here you have 680.70. These are your levels, and here's where the 8-day is. Question is, will buyers come in today? Will we reclaim 689.90 and go green? That would probably make it a little easier. What up, Cobblestone? Up, D-Law? Some people are like, hey, Red Dog, You said Tesla was going to 500. I had a plan to engage the name if momentum held, and it went above 495, went to 498.50 and failed. Everyone had the same amount of time to adjust. Did you adjust? Or did you stay there like a deer in headlights? My dogs don't stay there like a deer in headlights. We adjust. So anyway, Tesla will be interesting today. It's a different kind of trade. Remember, Tesla went to above 495, went to 498, and then failed to hold. So that was your get rid of your momentum shares. We actually did sell a bunch of options there. I haven't been in options since. I also took down my Tesla shares. I'm still in TSLL. And then, and then it started to roll over and it got below the 8-day. So this morning, this could be an opportunity. I'm just saying it's not the trade above 495 to 500, but we'll see if it could reclaim 476. This level is a big level, 465. It got tired. There was no big catalyst there. We got tired. It's not a big deal. But, remember, we had a few really good trades here. And then last Monday, just, kind of changed. So we'll see what happens today. So today might be an opportunity. It's, it's down 460. Rick Friedman, my buddy from the Alpha team, he already said he was buying it this morning. I was a little late. I wasn't buying it. It's been into 467. This is the gap area, 466. So it'd be fine if it holds. It'll refuel. It'll be great. If you can get a red dog reversal where you buy versus level, reclaims that spot too, that would be a nice little trade between Christmas and New Year's. But we'll see. What up, Nugsy? So that's that. As far as other things, I think Amazon is acting better. People like Red Dog, Amazon held in there Friday. That was a nice call by you. Thank you very much. Anyway, it's not a barn burner. This is what Amazon looks like. If you remember, we were talking a week ago on Tuesday. I was buying the 230 calls for a move to 230, 250. Well, it went to 230, 295. Right now it's hanging in here. I do think it can continue. Lots of talk about this is the number one play for 2026 in mega cap tech land. I could see it. It was definitely disappointing this year, but so far in the last week, it's been pretty good. Right? You can't be upset about this trade. So I did roll them up. I sold the 230 calls for a double. I think I have the shares on for power plays, and then I rolled them into something. I think I rolled them into the 230, 250s, and maybe gets a 239. I also rolled up Apple. Apple's a little lethargic. I'd love Apple to take a little control today and go from red to green. It's only down small. If Apple, could hold this little spot, maybe their buyback machine's on today, we can make a little bit of money here. I am long small Apple. Into this down move, it wasn't a lot. I bought the 270, 250s, and I sold them pretty well. Then I rolled them higher. I think I have the 275s for this week. So we'll see. Kind of go sideways and hold in here to go higher. That would be nice for Apple. That would be nice. It'd be nice, but we shall see. Anybody else looking at that? Silver finally reversed. That's true. Okay. So some people like, hey, Red Dog, they sold the event on ASTS. They did. Everyone had the same time to get lighter or take some trades or maybe get short. And now we'll see what ASTS has today. Remember, this 92 area was right there. Okay. Then it failed to hold. Failed to hold is a very sophisticated term. I've been teaching this forever. First, you had your move, got above 67, had a successful launch, which it did, got above 87, couldn't hold it. So that's a red dog reversal sell. That's a, hey, if I'm long looking for momentum, there's no momentum. You trim your shares, maybe get short or just be flat. You could do that too. Then you had look at this bearish engulfing candle that took out this range. Why would you get bigger on that day? Of course not. And then, you had your second down day. So today will be interesting. I think today will be a very interesting day for ASTS. It's down $1.25. It's at 70.50. Not crazy. This is the low. This is 71.03. Maybe you get a little bit of a red dog reversal right there. So if you got out at 87.75, you get back here and it holds the 50-day. That's called navigating your share size or your position. You're allowed to, especially if you're active like we are. Or more? That's a good question. So some people because silver and gold reversed, will money come back to Bitcoin? I don't know. It's worth a look. It's worth a try. First of all, this was silver, okay, going out, and now silver is lower. Okay, silver SLV is down 3. It's 67.98. So it's basically right above this gap. The question is, will it hold this gap after the open? Maybe. If not, there's your 8-day. If this candle gets matched, if they're trapped, okay, you could see that some people like, is this the top of silver? I'm like, I'm not going to call anything. All I know is there's been a lot of great trades in silver. All these trades were awesome on the way up. And then this was my major meaty trade in silver. I had it, it was a power play. It was everything, right here, 49 and a quarter. I think I even told you guys of my friends who, know the brokerage firms in China. No, I'm kidding. I always say it that way. Said that they're short the box or whatever they call it, and that they're going to be called in. And that's why we started buying it. Besides it looking great technically, if you remember, we had the 49.50s, it went to 54, and then I rolled it from that into the 54s. And then this was my last big trade here. I was done there. And I had a nice move higher. But this, to me, was getting parabolic. I was hoping we'd be up $4 in silver and I could short it and make a lot of cash flow, or people who were long could just sell it. And now it's different. It's a little different, down a bunch. So see if it holds here. If it doesn't, there's a gap to fill down to 65.34. So with that said, the metals have been in fuego. Does money come back to Bitcoin now? So we'll take a look. What does Bitcoin look like? Bitcoin does not look great. Bitcoin's been a pain in the butt. Bitcoin has not been where the action is. So, I personally am not such a rush. You could, I guess, expand this a little bit. They tried to rally Bitcoin overnight, and I guess it got rejected into this 90,000. To me, it's still lagging. I don't think, I don't know. I just, maybe, it's got to hold 84,000. I've donated enough money in this Bitcoin, little move lower that I don't need to be so active there. But if you want to buy some options or whatever, if you think 2026 is the time, so far Bitcoin has been, it's been in a corrective phase. It's been here before. It's fine. What happened? Remember this false breakout? That was your spot to reduce. Then really right here was when, crypto changed character, when it lost all the moving averages. And now you do have a little bit of a lower wedge-ish type of trade here. I don't think just because silver and gold are down that all of a sudden all this money is going to come to Bitcoin. But it's worth a look. I get it. It could be a bear flag, but sometimes, Bitcoin likes to trap everybody. So this bear flag, if it were to break 84,000, chances are it could be a move lower. It's lagged long enough, but every now and then you get a lower level flag that turns into, something that ignites a move. So if we were to get above 90,000 and hold it, yeah, there's a lot of, there's some room above, but it's not something that technically is telling you should be, looking at it so closely, and it should dictate, your trade. But anyway, thoughts on Boeing. Boeing had a nice move. Look at that move in Boeing. A lot of guys were longing from here, longing above this gap. Boeing, is tricky at times, but again, you could have been long right here with a higher low versus the gap, and look at that move. And now today, what's Boeing doing? Boeing is it's down 80 cents. It's not so compelling now, but it was a decent trade. GSIT, I am not in, but that gave you a little bit of a day one type move. Sometimes during the holiday, it's good to see what's it doing today. Did it announce an offering or something? It's doing nothing, but gave you a little bit of a move. Some of these things, Google is, it's trying. I would say this Google's in the game to be bought this morning. A lot of guys were long Google from 305-ish and came up into resistance right around here and was sold, and now Google's down a little bit. So if the market's going to hang in there today, I would think Google's buyable. It's only down $1.50, not so bad. NVIDIA gave you a topping tail, a little bit right into resistance. Remember I said this was your buy area, 176, went to 192.69. It's down a little bit. A lot of talk about their acquisition of Grok. It's funny. I coach a lot of guys that are all in the privates, and they're all like counting their money. They made like friggin' 20x on their money. Some made 4x on their money. A lot of private deals out there. If some of these private deals start to get liquidity in this and that, it's a lot more money coming in. But anyway, we'll see what happens with NVIDIA. I think NVIDIA is kind of important today. NVIDIA is down 2. It's not a big deal. The low here is what? This is 189.61. It's below it. What's this low here? This low here is 186.59. If this is going to be any good, it should hold 186.59. I'll look at it today. I'm not in it. maybe there's a tactical spot to buy. But anyway, it is 7:32. All right. I wanted to come on a little bit because everyone thought that I got ran over by a reindeer on the way to work. I didn't. Okay. I had things I had to do. I know I promised you guys a 6:30 club, but you know what? Again, if you were feeling naked without the 6:30 club this morning, you bet to subscribe to Red Dog Mindset. Anyone who subscribed to Red Dog Mindset right now, which are a lot of people, you will never lose a 6:30 club next year. There could be a different arrangement, though, moving forward for those not involved. So what you want to do is subscribe above. It's $10 a month, not a day. You know, you could also do the 20 of 520. That's included. You get whiteboard weekends, get a lot of great stuff. And I might even include Fridays in 2026. A lot of guys are like, why do you only do it Monday through Thursday? I'm like, I could do whatever I want. It's a free video I've been doing for 6-7 years to try and help everyone. But anyway, I would love to add a Friday. I'll get up a little early. I don't mind, and come on in and do it and help set the tone of the day. I say win the morning to win the day. That's what we like to do. We like to get up early, get in the sauna, 20 of 520, get a great workout, great sweat, get the mind right. From there, ice spiral, feel good endorphins going, think about your positions, think about what you have to do, then come in, look at the charts, look at the levels, start to connect all the dots. That's what we do. We connect the dots. We keep the TV off so nobody's got to worry about the people who play traders on TV. And then you have to execute. Then you have to execute every day. Every day you got to execute. You can't be on tilt. You got to be smart. You have to have your routine and process. And not everybody could do it. I've seen so many traders come and go. But anyway, you know, it's really, you know, you really have to focus on the charts. You know, there are places to be in there, and then, you know, look at that move right into resistance. So if you're coming in and you're so long the video, like what the hell is so long the video? Anyway, now you'll see where it holds. Same thing with Tesla. You shouldn't be so long Tesla right now, considering it lost momentum. But I would think today is interesting. You know, it couldn't hold 495, went to 498, rolled over. Most people you might even be short. There are some traders out there that are probably short. First close below the 8-day. Why would you be cajones to the wall long, right? That doesn't make sense, you know. But anyway, now it's down 468 to 470, a little off lows. Maybe it'll hold this 465, hold the 21 day. It hasn't been below the 21 day this entire time. So that's probably good support. You got to measure the little incremental changes, and you have to change your stance, especially if you trade actively for a living and want a paycheck. Anyway, can I look at Oracle before I go? Sure. I think Oracle was hanging in there. You know, Oracle was trying to get closer to this gap. Some guys are long versus 192. It's been battered and bruised. There is a gap to fill. Maybe it could be a decent January effect play also. Again, what is this? This is 192. What's this high here? 200.37. 200.37. Let me see for a second here. What's it doing this morning? Oracle is down 3. All right. Yeah. So just like everything, you know, can it hold? I'm not an Oracle. I haven't been an Oracle. It's been a crappy trade. It's been a crappy trade ever since this whole thing. What a debacle. Anyway, maybe you could buy it versus a level. It's not great. Anyway, with that being said, you like to listen to the 630 Club? You should. 630 Club, I usually go over sectors. I go over the keys to the day. I go over some opportunities that I'm looking for. I look for good setups, and it's no bullshit. Maybe we listen to a little music. Maybe we have a laugh. But other than that, you know, it's all business, setting the tone for the day. You know, I usually do it at 6:30, and then at 8:15, I do my morning call with the Alpha team. The Alpha team is my team that trades with me all day long. I'm on a radio from 9:15 to 11:30 talking about what I'm seeing. They see my positions live. So lots to my day. Anyway, usually I'm at my best early morning. I'm feeling good. Why? Because I start my morning off on the right foot. I drink 2 big glasses of water, get in the sauna, get a workout, listen to some tunes, get in the ice barrel, feel good, constrict everything, get ready, come in here, look at the X's and O's, and then the morning progresses after I do 40 charts, and then boom, time to execute. You know, everyone's got to look at the same thing. You got to be able to hear your inner voice. And if you can't hear your inner voice, there's something going on in you that's clouding your judgment. So you got to figure that out. It's probably your fault. Look in the mirror and say, hey, it's my fault. What could I do different? If you could do it different, if you want changes, you got to set the tone and make some changes. Last, I'm going to leave you with one more time is the SPYs. Little doji. We are below 689.90, which isn't a big deal. A few things could happen today. We could reclaim 689.90 and relieve the pressure. Look how elevated we are. We could stay below and then see 687.80. And, if that can't bounce there, this is ultimately where potentially we can go. Who knows? You have no idea. Maybe we get some red to green trades in tech. Maybe, things are heavy. Maybe everyone's on vacation and the computers are turned off. You have no idea. You could watch silver. There's a bunch of things to do, but whatever you're going to do, be prepared. Have a process plan. Multiple plans usually is the most prudent. And then, see if you could stack another day as we're getting close. It's December 29th. Are you thinking about a few things you could do different in 2026? I'm working on it. I'm creating a list of things that I want to do different in 2026. Tomorrow in the sauna, I'm probably going to go over them. One of the things will be lose what you don't want. I'm going to get back on a really tight schedule. We're going to do weigh-ins. We're going to diet. We're going to drink less, and we're going to have a great start to 2026. That also helps build your inner strength. If you can control your appetite, you can control your alcohol intake, and control the way you conduct your morning. You can control the way you push your keyboard. I'm just saying. And if you're making gazillions and you don't care about any of that stuff, you wake up at 9 o'clock and just say, hey, let's fling things around. Chances are, I don't know. That doesn't work for a long time. All right, guys, I appreciate you. Thanks for tuning in. Sorry I was late, 7:15, not 6:30. I got to do my charts, and I'll check in a little bit later.